Happy New Year.
Okay, well that was a great start.
Hi,
So
welcome to Gay Butt Sex Podcast.
that's not what it's called. Okay, so hold on, let me explain this. So this is
Yeah,
basically
that's what I'm calling
hi,
No,
welcome.
It's called a retard.
It's not. So hi, welcome to this podcast that's currently nameless.
Welcome to Gay
Shut up, Alexa.
So today we have David, AK, Justin, J Ray, myself, and Wyatt. We're all just
Don't
gonna.
say my name.
It's literally
Say
on
my
the
name.
screen.
I will
Yeah,
eat your dog.
don't say my name.
Don't
my
read
God.
that. That's not for you to read.
So basically, the way this podcast is going to work is pretty much it's everyone who you see in my videos, whoever shows up, shows up. So it'll be a different dynamic every time. You know, one episode we may have a super chill
Shut
one
up,
where we talk
shut up.
about introspective stuff, and then there'll be episodes like this where it's just like fully autistic. So
You shut your mouth. You
Oh,
understand? You shut
okay. So
your
to
mouth.
start, guys, to start it off, do you want to hear my my E-Thot story?
You fuck
the
yes.
E-Thot story,
Right off the
yes,
What the
bat.
fuck is that?
an E-Thot, an
Okay,
internet
hold
thought.
on, let me find it.
Okay.
So basically, I'm a dirty League of Legends player.
Uh-huh.
Dirty.
So there's this guy that I played with for a while, and he has a Discord server. So I joined his Discord server, and I'm talking to him one day. And anyway, so they had this girl. They had this gay. Okay, we'll call him gay. So so we'll call.
What's his social security
so-
number?
I know your social security number.
So
that's-
I'm in his server,
Mhm.
and we're talking, and in one of our games he invites this girl that's in the call too. So basically, I'm told by everybody else in the Discord that to like watch out for her
Uh-huh.
because she's tried to get with like 5 people. at
As
this
you
point.
do, as you do.
So yeah, right. So and they still hadn't kicked her for some. So anyway. So so I'm like playing, and I just acted and exactly as I would with a guy, So all of the name calling that I would to you guys or anything, all of that, it's still there, right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm being like as much of a jerk as I possibly can.
Even more so because it's a woman.
Right, of course. So we're
No girl.
Ladies,
yeah,
will we hop in the
Sophia's
ears?
coming later. Anyway, so I'm playing with him, and she starts getting kind of weird, like her and her like quotes unquote best friend in the server.
Oh, don't tell me
Weird.
she told you to eat your ass.
Like they say,
No,
they
that's
say,
the next
they
one.
change their nicknames to something involving my name, which in the server it's Chimey, because that's my big name. So changing things like, we love Chimey, that kind of thing, right? So I'm starting to get a little bit weirded out, and I'm like, okay, I need to end, I need to not get to have this go any further, right? So I'm still scrolling up, actually. Okay, here we go. I finally got to the top. So I tell her,
Oh God.
What did he
So-
Find out next.
I'm like, hey, I'm like, hey, I know, sorry, I'm like going through
I
this.
was gonna say
I'm,
for
hey,
a second.
yeah, it was pretty, I'm sorry. So I'm like, hey, I know what's going on, and, I've just recently been through something, and I told her a few fake things and a few real things anyways, and I was like, I just really don't
Oh, so
want,
you lied? Well, that means she's entirely in the right then.
So
Wow.
no.
You
Okay,
lied to
and
me,
then within the same thing, I was like, I'm not gonna do e-dating either. I just don't really like that. So she tells me, hold on. She tells me something along the lines of she wants to like fix me, fix what's been broken. Let me see if I can. All right, here it is. Here it starts. So,
Would you guys stop sending memes while we're recording a podcast?
I'm still listening. Fuck up.
so she's like telling me these things like, I wouldn't care if, you weren't thinking of me, if you were thinking of somebody else, like going on these things, and I was like, I just really, I don't want to eat it, either. And she's like, let's see, let me get
Do
to it.
soldiers in Afghanistan jerk off to landmines?
See, oh my god, would you just let Wyatt tell his story?
So,
I don't know, like, the fucking random voice.
so you know, I'm like, okay, you know, so we can still play games, because she actually was pretty fun to play with. Like, she was weird sometimes and she would be kind of flirty, but she was actually pretty fun to play with. Like, she wasn't
Eat my ass.
terrible. She wasn't terrible at the game or anything. She
Wyatt,
actually
I
had
have a confession.
fun. So
Wyatt, it was me.
what? You know, okay, shut up.
Why, I have something to tell you.
Elijah, you said you wouldn't do that again after what happened between us.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. So she said, you know, I was like, you know, I appreciate it, but really I just don't think. And then she says, why, you know, using my Discord name, why I don't expect you to ever be with me, but I'll try when you're ready. And I'm like,
Oof.
The thing is, I'm literally telling you I'm never gonna be ready.
yeah, right.
Guilt trip 100.
And then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm telling you, like, not ever. And she says, I don't expect you to turn for a long time. That's why I'll wait.
I don't expect you to turn.
And then she says, I'm really patient when it comes for people I care. Then it goes on.
You knew her for like fucking 3 days.
No. This is after less than 48 hours.
What?
What the fuck?
I'm not
I'm
kidding.
really
This is
patient when
like,
it comes to people that want-
and considering,
How fucking thirsty is she?
I know, right? So I'm
Get this
considering,
bitch some
I'm like,
Dasani.
and you consider that's me, like, it's been like less than 48 hours since I first started talking to her. I've actually talked to her in a call for maybe 6 at the most, or like over messages, right?
Uh-huh.
So she's telling me all this stuff, like about her life, and like, you know, she has a bad home life and she like starves herself and stuff.
I
She's trying to guilt
highly
trip me,
doubt
basically.
any of that is true.
You know, trying to guilt trip me basically.
Why
Yeah,
you
you know,
know,
I have this like 1%. No, that's what I'm saying though. I always have like the 1% chance that it's actually real online, so I
Yeah.
don't ever like say something like that in case it is real and they are actually suicidal
Even-
or whatever
even-
else. So I just don't.
But even if it is, like, still.
Yeah, I mean, true. Why would you tell somebody random? But I was like, I mean, at one point I was like, okay, if you have any problems, get actual help. You know, I'm not your therapist. You know, I don't have a degree in psychology.
Damn,
you know.
Destruction 100.
So, so then she was like something about the starvation thing, and I was like, I like went on a rant about it basically,
Mhm.
about, you know, people starving themselves for their looks, and then she says, "Why do you care about me?" And I was like,
I don't.
I'm gonna say something to anybody that's willing to ruin their health for no good reason, right? Like, I'm like, no, I would have said this to anybody if they're bringing this up, and I probably would have just gone on a rant because that's just how I work. So, so anyway, she starts sending me like good morning and good night messages, like with nothing else. And this is the best part.
Oh no.
So, oh no, actually, hold on. Before I get to the best part, let me also clear. So her friend, her quote unquote friend in the Discord was this guy. I talked to him before. He was pretty fun to play with as well. He was like thirsty after her.
Oh god.
But he had gotten rejected basically. So he sends me all these messages like about him being depressed, and he sent me a bunch of smiley faces and was like, I know something that you don't, smiley face. And I was like, I actually just told him, quit being cryptic. If you want to tell me something, tell me. If not, just shut up and leave me alone. And he's like, and eventually, you know, he says something. He's like, she likes you. And he was like, and you know, he's like, and when that day comes, you'll never see me again. And then he sent another smiley face, and that just like, I don't understand. So anyway, so he's
Hold
like,
on. I really want to state this real quick. How fucking low are her or how ugly is he, or how unattractive is he, to where she would easily fall for you and not the other guy?
He told me
Are
actually
you
in
calling
messages.
Wyatt ugly?
Yeah, how low are her standards to
Yes.
go after Wyatt?
Right. No. But like, this guy, he actually told me within when I was talking to him, he told me he was like 5'4" and ugly and fat. That
Oh,
was
so a
his
midget.
of himself.
Oh, that.
Shit, I don't remember talking to anybody like
David,
What
why
did
are
you
you
say,
why are you muting and unmuting to talk, David?
Chance of
I said a
I'm in a
fat.
sketchy location.
Ah,
I'm in the best.
David is
You get
literally
raped?
David is literally in the hood.
Yeah, Wyatt. So basically, the person
Guys,
is
there's way too many
the
black
secret
people.
agent.
Oh no.
What? Yeah. I mean, and even that, like, I don't know. I don't really understand. Anyway,
Go on.
So he's telling me all this stuff, and that's just like, how did I get like so thirsty people messaging me, right? So I don't understand why they just couldn't get to each other. They were perfect. But anyway,
Both fucking
So-
degenerates, perfect.
Equally unattractive.
right. So and I talked to a friend, Kay, as previously referred to.
Bruh.
I talked to him later because the same thing happened to him. The exact same thing. Even some of the messages was like a carbon copy of what she sent him. So he was like, "Did she ever send you a picture?" And I was like, "No." Because she asked me for a picture myself, and I said, "Hell no."
You should have sent a picture of J Ray.
No, actually, I was tempted. The only thing I was tempted to send her a picture of me and Sophia, like sitting right next to each other.
Or me and you.
Wait, send her a picture. Send her the picture of me with the fucking dress on and six.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and I said no, and then so my friend, he was talking to me. He was like, "Did she ever send you a picture?" And I was like, "No," and she said, she was like, he was like, "She's ugly as hell," and I was like, "Yeah, I believe it." So anyway, so getting to the best part. So the best part was, she messaged me after a while, and just randomly out of nowhere, she said, "How are you doing?" And I said, I'm good. How about you?" And she said, "I'm tired." And then she says immediately into, "I wish I was older." And I was like,
Oh,
I was
this
like, yeah,
part!
right,
This part! I
right.
remember this part!
So I was like, she was like, "Why do you want to be older?" And I said, "No, more freedom, graduating high school, all that good stuff." And she was like, "Yeah." And she's the same age as me, by the way.
Mhm.
So,
That's what
at
they want
least
to
from
do.
what she told. Actually, from what she told me, my other friend told me that she told him 19. She told another guy 17. Varying. I'm sure she told the guy in this story that I'm about to tell you, she told him a lot older. So,
Wyatt, can I stop you for just like 1 second?
Huh.
Can we just let me know that I let Preston, big gay Preston, pierce my ear with a needle today?
Why?
You let him do what?
Anyway, so is there more to your story, or can I?
I mean, I don't know why he just took out a needle. Was like, "I should pierce your ear." I was like, "Okay."
I'll do
And-
stick this
And you
long
just
needle in my
agreed to
And
it.
you just agreed to Preston piercing your ear randomly.
He hit my scar tissue in my ear, so I
He just
started.
unconsentfully. Well, no, there was some consent. Just ran the needle straight through.
Everybody
There was-
remember that time Preston wanted me to lick his.
And I did it.
Okay, Wyatt, continue with your story
Because I
now.
have no idea who Preston is.
Okay, so where we left off, she asked me, "Why do you want to be older?" I said, "Graduate high school, all that good stuff." And then she said, "Yeah, I want to be able to date guys I want. I have an issue liking older guys." These are quotes. And I said, "Not illegally older, hopefully." And she said, "What do you mean?" Question mark. And I said, "As in, they'd get in trouble for being a pedo." And she says, "Oh,
Yay.
yeah, that type of older. I'm weird." And I said, "Yeah, I get why you would want to be older for that, since it's extremely illegal." And she said, "Yeah, I know," and I still messed up. And I said, "How?" And she says, "It's bad." And I said, "Did you actually get into a relationship with somebody of that age?" And she said, 21, turning 22 in 2 days. And I said, "As in you're still in it, or it's something that happened?" And she said, "We dated for 6 months." And I said, "Oh, okay." And she said, "I broke up with him after I got out of the hospital." And I said, "Okay." And she
Don't even question why she's in the hospital.
He beat her.
and I was like, yeah, you know, I was gonna if it was still going on, I would have told you to, you know, you should probably end that, you know, and she said, no, it's not, it was abusive. And I was like, you know, I'm not trying to talk down to you, obviously you learned your lesson, but, you know, any guy going for someone of your age, that's 18 plus is gonna be a creep. I mean, that's kind of, you know, self-explanatory. And she said, yeah, but honestly, he didn't have bad intentions. And I said, I thought you just said he was abusive. And then
Did
she
beat her.
says,
That's why she was in the hospital.
and then she was like, yeah, he was. I had like 6 friends, he didn't like anyone. And I said, then he had bad intentions, right? And she says, he only wanted me. I was always jealous, but knew how to control it. He didn't. And I was like, as in he was jealous of all your friends? No, if he didn't like somebody, he would make me cut. I was like, so he was controlling and abusive and had bad intentions, right? And she was like, yeah, I guess.
Bruh.
And then, literally, quotes, I'm quoting, I said, yeah, I mean, it's kind of dumb for me to say, you probably aren't, but, you know, I wouldn't recommend for going for someone older like that again until you're, you know, old enough. And she said, then she just put XD again, and I said, I mean, you don't plan on doing it again, do you? And she says, I don't know.
Oh no, no, no. Oh no,
And
no,
I
no.
say, you're putting yourself at risk for someone who's literally a pedophile going for a young girl. And you're putting them in a position where they would be sent to jail most likely if anybody found out. And it's manipulating a kid, right? And she said, yeah.
Wyatt, don't judge a book by its cover. Maybe you really just wanted a fucking girl.
You know what I liked at first? First, we were just completely shitting on this chick. Then, like, it went to, like, a little sob story, and then it just went straight back to almost shitting on her.
Yeah. So,
This really says a lot about her.
yeah. So I said, and then I said, it's a bad situation for both parties. I mean, there's really no point. And I said, you really shouldn't even think about it, but that's just my opinion. Take it how you want it. And I said, even dating online in general, I mean, there's a good portion of guys who are just going to try and get your nudes. Like, that's the only reason, right? And I said, those are just... And, and I said, you know, I really need
And
to
that's
move
when
on.
she
I'm
sent
gonna
you
go for a
nudes.
bit. And she said, I really need to move on. I'm going to go for a bit because I said, you know, I don't like online dating in general. Again, I repeated it. And I think she realized that I'm not going to, like, be super sympathetic with all of her stuff and, like, actually tell her what I think. And then she said, it hurts. I want something I'll never have. It sucks. It's whatever. I'll move on and it'll be done with and you won't have to hear another word about it again. And at this point, I was almost to the point where I was like, yeah, you have the audacity to tell me, after what I told you about my personal life, you have the audacity to tell me that it sucks that you have something you'll never want from a guy you've known less than 3 days.
Wait, this was all in the
But-
span of like less than 3 days?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Right?
Like how earlier you
Women
said
like
all
that
under
deserve
48
this
hours.
way.
What did you just say, David?
So,
I said women like that deserve to be raped.
Oh my god.
oh my god.
We
What's your mom?
there.
No. So yeah.
If I figure out
and-
you take that out of there, I'm gonna fucking kill you all.
Yes, that's
Oh,
when you
and-
grab her by the throat, you bend. I am going
Okay.
to hell.
You know-
God damn.
and-
David,
and-
if Elijah could let me talk about Tristan's mom in one of his videos, I think he could put that in there.
I could.
I swear to God, if I get.
Alright, go on, Wyatt, go on.
Never.
and basically and there were other times where she She said that she didn't like being called an e-girl or an E-Thot or anything.
And yet we're referring to this
Because,
episode as the E-Thot
obviously.
story.
It's literally called the
So-
fucking E-Thot.
So I wanted to give her that.
Well, I really hope she doesn't watch this
and
episode,
also-
because guess what it's going to be titled?
And and also a lot of the times where she would tell me something like about her starving herself, about her cutting, she would always say something like kind of indicating it, and I'd be like, what do you mean by that? Because cryptic stuff, I hate it. So, and then she was like, oh, you won't like it, or oh, I don't want to tell you, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like,
Then
okay.
don't mention the.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Attention
If you don't
whore.
want, I was like, if you don't want to talk about it, perfectly fine. We'll move on to something else. And then I try to move on to something else for the next sentence, and then she goes into it and tells me about it. So, and yeah, that's another thing. She said that she didn't like being called attention seeking and stuff. I wonder why you're called attention seeking, where you're trying to guilt trip somebody that you've known for less than 2 days into getting into an online relationship with you when you've heard their voice and played League of Legends with them for about 10.
Works for me one.
Hey, listen, that is a proper fucking gamer girl.
Dude, I'd kill for her bathwater.
And now I have the question now I have the question to all of you. Should I send her a message right now to her new account on Discord and ask her if I can buy some E-Thot bath water?
Yes!
No. What I want you to do is send me her
Send her
Discord, because I have.
No. You know
No.
what would be an even better thing to send?
This
Okay, I'll send it to you
podcast.
later, David.
Cease and
What?
desist.
Yo, can I get
Yes,
some of
send her
that?
this
Just
podcast
send her,
after.
No.
just send her the
Even better
podcast.
than that. Yo, can I get
Send her
some
that.
of E-
Send her.
Oh, David. Oh my god.
Nah, the best thing to send would be, yo, can I get some of that E-girl IV fluid?
So should I send that to her, David, and be like, should I send that to her and be like, this is me? You wanted that face pic, this is me? This you wanted a picture of me, this is me. Should I send that to her, David?
Yes.
Send
Yes.
her,
Sustenance
send
from
her the one
E-girl
that we can't on this
Oh.
podcast because David will freak.
So does anyone else have any other stories?
So yeah, that's
Um,
my E-Thot story. I hope you enjoy.
I have a tiny
Never.
little short story.
Pop
Not
off,
to
Justin.
do
Tell
with
us.
you,
have
but
fucking.
You are the
You have
E-Thot.
a announce it to your wall.
And he got me. Okay, my short story is done. He already got me. I am the E-Thot.
Damn.
Here-
Wyatt, we could tell them about the escape room.
Yes, do it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
ahead.
basically, I got a text from Wyatt. This was a long ass time ago. Well, not long, but no, not. It was a couple months. It was basically. Well, was it like July?
I have no idea. Probably
Anyway,
like
Wyatt was like, "Hey, we got coupons for an escape room. You want to do an escape room?" And I was like,
that we got 2 years ago.
"Yeah, they got 2 years ago." And I was like, "Sure." So they text me and they're like, "All right, so you need to be at this place at around like 11." And I was like, "All right." So I told Tiffany and my dad, and this was right after I went to David's birthday party the day after. So, Tiffany's
David
already.
didn't invite
Happy
me to his
birthday,
birthday
David.
party.
You're older now.
Anyway, so
Now you're two.
so.
No.
Fucking June. What are you talking about?
Shut the fuck up.
David, you did not invite me to his birthday party. I feel
Yeah,
kind of
you didn't
hurt.
even invite me. How fucking
Oh
dare
yeah,
you.
it was in
You
June.
suck my-
Yeah, no, it was.
Justin,
it
you
was
live in
June, not
Minnesota.
July.
I don't live in Minnesota.
No,
Or
I'm
maybe.
even more offended that he didn't invite me. I mean, come on, you know that people who live in Ohio literally have nothing to do with their
AK,
lives
you
except for
literally
stuff.
invited me to your birthday party
Ohio
one
doesn't
year.
exist.
He sent me a picture of a birthday card one time.
That's funny.
And those big assholes
People it is-
gonna call him and turn on the camera.
Anyway, so
It's like
yeah.
you feed him
Me-
cake through your-
So Tiffany was already kind of tired, and that's my stepmom, by the way. She was kind of tired from driving me all the way down to David's birthday party. So we get up and we're sitting in the parking lot, and I text Wyatt. I'm like, "Hey, are you guys here?" And the first text I get is like, "I've got some bad news," and I'm like, "Oh no!" So it turns out that we have to wait a good 2 hours before we actually get to do the thing, because we have to like set an appointment, and they didn't know that because they didn't check beforehand because they're morons. So This is the first time
And
I've...
they're white.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is the first time I've ever gone anywhere with Wyatt, by the way. So it's already leaving a bad impression. So just by chance, my dad's like, all right, you can just go hang out with them until they do that, because Tiffany called him to ask him. So I get in their car, and Wyatt's mom is like, hi, and I'm like, hi, and so, you know, we're just driving around, eating pizza and stuff. So we get into the escape room, and to make a long story short, we failed. We did not escape.
Yeah. We failed terribly.
Yeah.
Really
You
badly.
still find their
Once you failed, you
corpses.
can't draw the
To be fair, the last room, you know, the last door that we got to the last room, they were like, but the last door was open. So, like, we accidentally, like, one of us leaned against it, and it just opened, and we just, like, closed it back, like, no, we didn't escape yet.
No, should I
I
tell...
don't understand why y'all used brute force to open doors.
Did I...
But,
Should I
yeah,
tell
yeah,
them
I
why
mean-
we failed?
I mean, to be fair, though, escape rooms are just a way to get tourist money. That's, like, all it
Yeah.
is.
Did I tell you
They're not
guys... Did I tell... So, should I tell them why we failed? Because it's really embarrassing.
Yes.
So we were out
Yeah,
here
go
trying to
ahead.
figure out this one combination lock, and there's this card, and you swipe it against a lock to unlock it, and we didn't realize that you could swipe the card against a lock to unlock it until we had like 5 minutes left to finish the puzzle.
Or else we might
You
have won.
guys are the
Yeah.
fucking worst.
So not me, Wyatt, Jared, Sophia, John, or Wyatt and John's mother knew that you could swipe a card against a lock to unlock it. We should go back again and do the
So
same
y'all
one and
never
just
been
speed
to
run
a-
it.
This is why Elijah doesn't go outside, because he doesn't know how to open the goddamn.
I just can't get
Well,
past the
we can
door.
even-
Well, Elijah may not
I
know
think
how
I
to
know
open
why.
up a lock, but he does know how to open up a possum and feed his family for weeks.
Oh, that
Oh my
nice segue. Can we clap for that? Clap for that segue, because that's actually the next story I was going to get
can't
into.
clap.
Okay, so, to make a long story short, you know how normally when you open your washing machine, there's not a possum inside of it?
Yeah, and this time there was a possum.
There was a possum inside my washing machine.
Wow, I didn't see this coming.
I don't think J-Ray knew about this.
Wow.
No.
Okay, so it was like at 3 a.m. and I was gonna make my sugar glider some food, and my dog, she kept like standing up on the washing machine barking. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Lily? Stop being a
He's
moron.
standing on top of the washing machine.
No, she's like leaning up on it because she's a pit bull, so like she's like standing on like her hind legs and like her front paws are leaning on
I
it.
just imagine your pit bull standing on top of the washing machine, barking.
She's just leaning against it with a
So,
cigarette.
so I look.
With the hat pulled down over the eyes.
Yeah, now this should have been my first red flag. I noticed that my sugar glider food wasn't in the cabinet that it's normally in, and our cabinet is directly above the washing machine. I was like, Tiffany probably threw it away, she'll get some more tomorrow, it's fine. So I made my sugar glider, I made him some apples and stuff, and Lily just keeps barking. I'm like, you're gonna wake everyone up, you cunt, what are you doing? So I look inside the washing machine, and there's just a possum.
How the fuck did the possum get in there?
Okay,
I'm more curious
my-
how the fuck he made
my theory is that it dug underground, went up through our wall, chewed a hole through the back of that cabinet, and went to go eat the sugar glider
How
food.
did you get an apple tree to grow that fast? Did you use
Explain to
bone
me
meal?
how
Did
you
you
made
cheat?
this apple, Elijah. I don't give a shit
No.
about
No.
furry giant ass rat got in your fucking clothes washer.
I
Little giant.
I went into creative mode anyway. So basically,
Creative
that's my
mode.
because
The possum went in spectator mode and went in the washer and went back into survival mode.
no, but I think
think
he went up our wall and chewed through the back of that cabinet because basically the sugar
Well, you
glider
can't tell if there's a hole that a possum could go through in the back of the cabinet. You just can't tell.
I didn't
So that's
check.
your guess.
I never checked.
That's why he made apple.
I could go check
So
now.
what? You
Check
just
for
you sat around thinking of how it could have happened, but you didn't ever. Check
I was
it.
at my grandmother's. I went to my grandmother's right after we dealt with the possum.
You dealt with it. Real good.
So,
Anyway.
where did you grow the apple?
Why is J-Ray muted? I mean
I'll
deafened.
tell you how we grew the apples. Humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return.
Oh my
That's
god.
why he
Here we
shit
go
on
into
the
Formula
flower.
One.
You must be lost. That is the alchemist's first law
I think
of
it's
equivalent
clear.
exchange.
I think it's clear that Wyatt has way more respect than I do because he didn't get interrupted like at all.
Yeah. Plus, he didn't say growing up like.
That's
naked.
not what I said. I said
And
the...
also,
He said
his story was way fucking longer, and it had more
Boom.
I think it had more entertainment value.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so I noticed there's a possum
So, on a
inside.
side note,
Oh goddamn!
Elijah, you know, I just realized about the whole hotel key stuff. You
Yeah.
know,
What?
you know, it's kind of good because on a side note, we went to the beta trip, right? And
Yeah.
Elijah never got his own personal key to the door.
That sounds like a lie.
It's your fault we couldn't get past the
Oh
escape
yeah, I'm
room.
coming to beta this year, probably. If Elijah. Oh yeah, here we have this one. So.
Oh goddamn! Can I finish my story first?
Oh,
No.
you
Cut off
Fuck no, it's
before-
boring.
I'm finishing the story. So the possum's in the washing machine,
The
right?
story goes: possum and washing machine. They beat it out with a stick. The end.
Yeah, that's
They
accurate.
even ate it for dinner.
No, but it's just funny because I
The
went to
dog
go tell
fucked
my
it.
uncle, and my uncle was like, looked me down the eyes and said, Elijah, if I look in that washing machine and there's not a possum, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, just go up to somebody, wake them up from sleeping, and be like, "Hey, so you know how the washing machine is usually not a possum?"
That's literally what I said.
Well, here's the opposite.
This is actually just a segue to Elijah to explain that his uncle beats him. Please say.
I don't
I
know.
like to imagine if like there was like some other universe where there was no possum in there, and his uncle like, "Where's my?"
Where's my fucking bourbon?
So you guys, so you want to hear the story of why I might be going to beta this year? By the way, for
Maybe.
for not
No.
us, beta is like just a convention where there's a bunch of different competitions and a lot of different
Lower than
categories that
alpha.
you can compete in, and there's judges for it. Anyways, there's a convention that
We're
happens
just
this
going
year
for
where you have
Disneyland.
to pay money.
No, I'm
Basically,
good.
you just pay money to join a club where you pay more money, pretty
Yeah.
much. So to go somewhere.
Wow,
Disneyland.
that sounds just like Disneyland.
So anyway, so about I don't know. It was before the school year ended, so it was probably maybe
Do they sell
early
alcohol at Disneyland? If so, can you pay in Disney bucks?
May.
I like to imagine it's just like in every like amusement park. It's just like, oh, you gotta pay in like Toy Story bucks. Toy Story bucks? No, wait, hold on.
Toy
Let me
Story bucks?
No,
that what you mean?
Storyland. That's the amusement park I'm thinking about.
Oh.
Go on.
Oh wait, I remember.
Well, so I'm talking to Elijah near the end of the school year, and he said that somebody gave him a keyboard.
Mhm.
You know, just a little
A piano
you know,
keyboard,
like
by the way, not like
yeah.
a typing keyboard.
just a piano keyboard, just an electric one, a little, and it had the notes displayed on the keys and everything. So he tells me that because on guitar and harmonica I play Piano Man by Billy Joel. So he said that he could learn the actual piano part, and I said, there's no way, it's too difficult. You've never touched
And
a
he did.
piano before.
Uh-huh,
You
and
won't be able.
and
you won't
where
be
are
able to
we
do it.
at
So
now?
then he
Where are we
calls
at
me
now?
About 2 months. Hey, I'm getting to that. So about 2 months later, or not, maybe not 2, but well, about halfway through summer, he calls me on Discord. And he's like, "Hey, Wyatt, I have something to show you." And he plays the intro. He messed it up a little bit, but he played the intro pretty much perfectly to Piano Man.
And then Wyatt
So,
Disney.
and then I'm like, okay, so continue into the verses and the chorus, because it has another little, just another part that goes on. So he gets through that, okay, and we've worked on a little bit in real life, but pretty much if he learns just one more part to it, he'll have the entire thing learned, and as long as he can get it up to a performance standpoint, I'm going to beta and playing harmonica and guitar with him on Piano Man, because I made a bet that I thought I could never lose.
Wyatt's
and
immediate response
might
as soon
lose
as
it.
I played the intro was like, well, shit.
so I might lose
He's
like
like
$350.
I
because,
like to imagine he was like
$50.
really.
yeah, to go on the trip if I
Oh.
if I lose.
Our school,
But he
our
still
school
has to
is
learn it
full.
really well by January.
Dude, our school is like, it's a crack shack, but it's a really nice crack shack.
Yeah, it's a high class.
You don't go to our school!
No, hold on.
Neither
It's like a
one of you
crack
go to
shack.
our school! You
Listen,
don't
it's like
know!
a cr-
You do not have a point of
Let me
reference.
speak, you fucking baby head.
What an
It's like a
insult! He
crack
just
shack.
called you a baby.
Like a crack shack, but with floral decor.
That is accurate.
That was
Like a
all you
crack
had to
shack, but there's
fucking
at least
say.
One Leonardo DiCaprio.
So what else could we talk about? What other stories do we have going on?
I have
got
a
stories
story.
for
Can
Cool.
somebody
Starting
else
in
besides
2 fucking
fucking
days.
Elijah and Wyatt talk?
I have a
just them
story.
speaking
This happened
and us
today at
reacting.
an amusement park, and it was funny to me.
Oh, AK has a story about an amusement park.
Oh, AK, you gotta
I
tell
got
the story.
stories about amusement parks, boys.
Go on,
Oh,
AK.
tell us about
You know
that
which one I
time
mean,
where
right?
You were right next to that sad.
I know what you mean. Alright, so y'all know how most states have state fairs and all that shit during summers, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh.
funny
And most
'cause I
of
heard
them
this
at
story.
this point are rickety old fucking rides. It's pretty much a boomer wonderland, right?
Uh-huh.
So basically, one of them was that ride with the multiple arms that there are seats on all of the arms and they spin around. Now,
Do they
this
go
is
up and down,
known
though?
as the Ohio State Fair tragedy. Happened in
Yay!
2016. I was like 10, 20 feet away. One of the arms chairs just fucking fly off. One dead,
That-
multiple injured. And all that played in my head when I witnessed it was, I believe I can fly.
From what I remembered, I thought it was, oh, it's 5 o'clock on.
That's okay. No, I remember you texting me that AK because this is when we like a bit after we just first started talking, and you were like, "Hey, so I just witnessed a death."
Did you see blood?
Like, how did he
No,
die?
because
Did
the
he
head
die?
was
Did you
too
leak
mangled.
it?
Hey, sorry, I didn't see any blood because the head was too mangled under the machinery to
Uh-huh.
have it distinct from the rust.
No,
Jesus.
no, I don't believe it. I think he licked some of that blood right off that seat. He was
Listen
like,
here, you little
Yeah, that is-
shithead. This is a podcast. It's being recorded, and you will not spill my secrets.
I will spill everyone's secrets. Elijah's hair is not actually.
Not actually what you cut out.
Oh, sorry.
You got
that
censored.
secret will stay-
You got censored.
Elijah used his
Elijah's
power to
trying.
stop it right at the last second.
See,
that
now they're not
secret
gonna know
will
if it was
always stay.
connection or if I just edited it out. Ooh.
Ooh.
But no, I do have a story.
Okay.
Spoopy.
This happened today. Like, I was at an amusement park in New Hampshire. It was called Santa's Village.
Oh, so you're in New Hampshire right now.
Yes, I'm in insert area code.
Okay.
This is my vacation. I'm actually hiding in a bathroom to record
Alright, I
this.
hear the cops. Gotta go.
Are you inside of the
Oh.
tub?
Now
Well,
we're literally
why?
just copying the Misfits, but okay.
Okay, but I was waiting in
We've been
line.
doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go on, Justin.
okay, sorry, I'm white. I can.
No,
No,
go,
go
go,
on.
you're fine. You know,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
no. look,
So I was
hold
waiting
on,
in line
hold on,
at Santa's
hold on, wait,
Village.
hold
It was in the.
on,
Fuck do you want?
hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You're good.
I don't think I want.
No, you're fine. No, go.
Nah.
No, actually, no, you're fine.
It's not a funny
Go
bit.
ahead.
Continue.
No, I think I'm good, man. I think I'm
Go
good.
Justin, tell us why it shut your mouth.
Okay.
Come on, yeah, come on.
I don't think I can now. Hold on.
It's okay. Performance affects like 1/5 of all men.
I know that. That's
I
why I'm
like how he had to take a minute to like really think of that statistic.
But like
I
he
don't know if
actually
it's
did the
1/5
math. He
or
has like a
1%.
scratch paper.
Okay, so you're at New Hampshire. This involves an amusement park. Go on.
Yes. I'm waiting in line for this giant roller coaster,
Mhm.
and there's this like, I don't know how old they were, but there was no way they were older than like 11. But like, there was this 11-year-old girl. She was right behind me. She
Did
was.
they die?
She looked at me. I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, like she tugged on the back of my shirt. I turned around. She said, "You're fucking ugly." And I was really.
Oh, no.
And then there's another line.
Why is that so funny to you, David?
What? It's he relates.
That would be
So
fucking hilarious. That would be so fucking epic.
he just man, having an 11-year-old girl just deadpan insult you. That I feel like that's like
Nice.
the peak.
I mean, like, let's just say when I went to sit on Santa's lap, he asked, "Oh, what do you want for Christmas?" Where I was like, "For the pain."
For the pain to stop.
That shit hurt.
So you went to an amusement park, got in line, and some 11-year-old called you ugly.
I like to see it. It's just like you're at the beach, you like take off your shirt, the lifeguard's like, copy that, guys. We got shark bait. Oh my god, never mind.
Go on, David.
Imagine you're like waiting in.
to pay for. Imagine you waiting in
Is
line
he
at
cutting
the
out for
fucking
anyone
gas.
else?
Yeah,
keep
he's
cutting out.
not pressing the button.
All I
Yes.
heard was something about a gas station waiting.
Go on, David. I think
Alright,
he's turning off push to talk.
I turned push to text up.
Turn
Fucking
push to
imagine
sec.
that- Shut the fuck up! Imagine you're waiting in line at a fucking gas station. You turn around, there's this fucking kid with a bottle of milk, and she's like, "Wow, you're fucking ugly."
Oh, for this time it's the kid going out for milk, not the dad.
So we lost J
Turns
Ray
out
and
you're
AK.
the dad, it's
That's
your own
epic.
kid. They're like, all right, dad, about to head out.
Here, David, do you have a story? You're the okay. Welcome back, J Ray.
You're at your funeral, your kid just pulls up their binky. This bitch fucking disgusting.
How the fuck did you make that sound?
Yes.
Alright.
God, I can do what I want with my mouth.
All right.
Alright, well,
Wait,
I think that's a pretty...
no. J Ray, David, do either of you have a story you want to tell?
No, that's a pretty... Well, I'm sorry, you guys can go ahead. That's a pretty good note for me to leave on, though.
No, you're staying.
But, no, I'll see you guys again at some
No,
point.
you have to tell us the story.
No,
well,
it's-
maybe I'll kill myself
my
later
turn.
tonight. But if
Alright.
not,
All right.
you'll see me again.
Wow, fucking edgy, fucking edge.
Yeah,
boy.
I know. Listen. None of you guys have been edgy. Be
Why-
that one edgy guy.
Wyatt, I
that's
hope
over,
you
okay?
drown yourself in a sink. Now get out of here before we
No,
continue the
Okay,
podcast.
now we have to.
I can be very edgy. My dad touched my butthole.
Okay.
My dad touched my butthole too, but you don't see me bitching about it, Wyatt.
I'm not bitching about it yet.
Okay, David, tell your story if you have one.
Fuck. You put me on the spot, damn you.
You
said
said
Fine,
no
I'll
me.
go,
Yeah,
I'll
let
go.
J Ray
I'll
go.
Yeah, fine, fuck, whatever.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell the story to Justin. This story is called Jerryism, the final
Oh
act.
my God, the religion we made. We made a religion about J Ray, by the way, just to summarize.
Guys,
now.
it's not fucking original.
No, I think it's great.
Wow, so unoriginal, you guys.
Continue, J Ray.
Is Jason.
David, you shut up. If I wouldn't have like went and got you, you wouldn't have been here, okay?
You
Yeah,
you are absolutely fucking right. I owe
Yeah, right,
everything
I
I
have
have right now to you.
Yeah, J Ray did introduce you to the friend group, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the best moment of my fucking life right there. I owe everything
right.
to him.
What?
Jay, right? I have a question. Does the J in your name stand for Jay?
No, it stands for Jeheezy.
Now,
It
go,
stands
go.
for just shut the
He's-
fuck. It stands for just shut the fuck up and listen to a story.
Yeah,
It stands for just come in my butthole, man.
just let him speak.
Come in my butthole.
Go on, J Ray.
So there's this thing called Jerryism, and one of our friends, Shaitan,
Mhm.
he created this. Okay, he was the Pope. He was the Messiah. He showed us the way. He was Moses. He created it, right? And so to start this off, I need to start from the beginning, the very beginning.
It's like Muslim, right? I swear to God, if someone blows up,
Somebody,
Go on, just ignore them.
So there was two entities in the universe: a star cluster and my cock. I
That should
fucked
just be how you
the star
end the video.
cluster. And once
And
I
my
came,
cock.
once I reached the climax, the Big Bang happened,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a big bang of white swirly stars. I fucked the universe into existence.
Such a good way of putting it.
Somehow that made me a sun god. Sun god of Ra, J-Ray.
Yeah, somehow you creating the universe made you the god of like one star.
All
Not
they
the
knew-
whole universe, not everything that exists. No, just one fucking.
There's multiple religions in this day now, but it all leads back to me. The
Kids out
Hinduism.
there asking where
that was-
God came from. I fucked his mother.
God, Jesus and God were my prenut.
Jesus was my first nut. God was my second.
Good job.
Mary
Good job,
was
J.
my
Ray.
little hoe.
These were the first words he ever spoke. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Will you
Who has the
torture my
biggest
cock and
cock?
balls?
All right. So, do you have a story, David?
Fucking died. J-Ray fucking disappeared.
Oh, just like my dad.
Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
What?
Every
Shut up,
joke is
David.
super fucking edgy and like fucking childish.
That's just Justin. I haven't done all this.
Fucking hard.
Stop doing that voice.
Fuck you, you're not my dad. I can eat Cheerios at any time I want.
Mom said it's my turn to play the Xbox.
I'm gonna play the PlayStation whether you like it or not, Jeremy. I will come in your fucking milkshake.
Do you have a story, David?
Butthole later.
David, do you have a story?
No, actually, I have a different way to approach this. I want somebody to pull up a script, like any script, and we all take
David,
turns
just do the
reading it.
story of whenever we
No.
met.
David, why don't you just tell the story of how I almost drowned trying to Naruto swim?
What?
Oh, yeah. Fucking Christ, my cat just scared the shit out of me. Okay, I just reached out below my bed and my fucking cat was there, and I was like, Jesus Christ, big spider. Alright.
This summer, the cat thing. Fuck.
Wow, Kitty, you scared the shit out of me.
Alright.
Coming to you
Alright.
on PBS.
Alright, so the story is like fucking we were at my birthday party,
Mhm.
you know, because I'm still fucking young enough to have birthday parties.
It was just me, by the
Yes.
way. I'm the only one of his friends who came.
I
you're
invited
both
him
7.
and like this old family friend that I have that I'm really hardcore trying to smash. But
My
anyway,
dad. Wait.
fucking shut up.
Wait, the
No.
lesbian?
You're a virgin.
Yeah, she's a bisexual guy.
Okay.
Wait, it's a guy
That
or
means
it's a
she'll take
bisexual?
it both ways alive.
Anywho, right? So there's the play. I decided to have it at a swimming hole because like I've always done my birthdays like that, you know, place where I can swim, where my fat ass can feel weightless once more. So the Pit Springs in Florida.
Mhm.
Fucking look it up. Anyway,
The coldest body of water to exist ever.
there's like steps into it, but you have to literally cannonball into it if you want to actually fucking swim, because your
I like
body
how the
will.
coldest body of water is in the hottest fucking place.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck kind of logic is this?
So we were beside the swimming hole. There's like this stream that usually you're just supposed to like get a raft and float down. You know, like just a lazy river.
But we
But-
swam because we're morons and thought we could fight the current.
But as soon as you fucking turn around that river, it becomes the hardest thing to fight in the fucking world. Like, Godzilla has no fucking match to the. It just pales.
The
in
hardest things
comparison.
to fight in the world, it goes J-Ray, Mike Tyson, drug addiction, that river.
I like to imagine. I like to see this like if this were ever animated. I just can already see like Godzilla like trying to doggy paddle extremely fast.
Yeah. So fucking me and Elijah, we were going down the stream. We were like, dude, turn around and go back up to the thing because we don't know where this is gonna end. You know, we're just gonna walk back up there. We decided to walk back up there, but it was really hard. Like the current just kept pushing against our bodies. We could not fucking walk. So I came up with an idea: start running. You know. So I just started fucking running, and that seems to be working. But you know what works even more than that? Something that makes your body really just hydrodynamic. You know, it really fends off the
fucking
force
damn
of
it.
the river to you. So you put your arms behind your back, you put your torso forward, and you run on your fucking tippy toes. And you know what I'm not joking either. This actually works. You fucking Naruto run in the river, and you get there 10 times faster than if you were to actually like fight your way through the river. I
I'd fight the shit out of that river.
I shit you not. You can literally
It
fucking
worked.
Naruto run
I
up the river.
hate that it did, but it worked.
Yeah, you don't expect
did
it to
it
work,
work
and I was
out?
just fucking around. I'm like, whoa, this is so much easier.
So then we tried to do it, but rather than running on our toes, we thought, okay, what if we just kicked our feet?
So eventually, you imagine you're in a canoe with your family, right? You got your wife behind you, your children in the boat next to you, And you have to-
I'd
you
leave.
have to-
Coming off of that.
and you have to fucking steer them away from these two retards fucking running upstream like a couple of fucking autistic fish, you know, fucking.
Oh, look out, honey, the retard are striking.
Fucking cute Naruto theme song.
And that's not even getting to the fact that as soon as I got to like the end, you grabbed me by the hips and threw me backwards.
I completely
That
fucked his
move
day
there,
up.
Dave.
He tried to drown me.
I fucked his
David,
day
that's a
up really
slut move.
bad.
No, I had
That
fun.
was a fucking power move, bro.
I enjoyed it. You didn't mess up my day. I had fun.
See, that's why it's a slut move.
I slammed you back into water.
Is that what an
The
autistic
force of
fish
1,000
sounds like?
times I push you back.
Yeah.
So,
Did I ever tell you the story about how I got a vasectomy?
God, do not.
I was a pedophile.
We're gonna save that for the Seal episode.
The seal episode, okay.
Whenever Seal comes on, that's what we're making him talk about. But that'll be for next time, I guess, or maybe the time after that, because we are out of time today. Anyone have any final goodbyes?
I want
If
to
my
take
dad
this moment.
watches this, please come home.
Okay.
I want to take this moment to say anyone younger than the age of 10 watching this and you do not know how to swim, just start Naruto running. It works.
I just wanted to say, if you're a tenant watching this, what the fuck is your parents?
Yeah.
And don't forget to switch
I just
to
want to say
Jerry.
if you're 10 and watching this, DM me.
Oh no, dude.
Specifically younger than 10.
Okay, so before we end this, I need to go ahead. At our school, if you leave middle schoolers, like 7th graders in your 8th grade, and you leave them with how to have fun and religion, they come out gay.
Well, that's
you
all the
talking
time
about?
we have today.